Untwisted.
Unshackled.
Uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for mature audiences only.
It's Miguel Fuller.
Holly O'Connor.
And Scotty the Body.
It's the Miguel and Holly Uncensored podcast.
Only on Hot 101.5.
I'm sorry if I seem distracted. I'm
do.
trying to upload the show, and I'm also trying to download movies to watch or shows to watch for the flight I'm about to be on.
I see.
Because I always forget
Yes.
until right when I get to the airport.
And then it's a scramble.
And then I'm like, okay, there's 10 minutes before they board. What 30-minute to hour movie or show can I download real quick on Netflix?
And it's going to go real slow.
Right. And then your signal is always slow at the airport.
And the
Yes.
Wi-Fi is like not really
It doesn't exist.
reliable.
Like it doesn't.
Like it says you're connected, but
Right.
it's like not loading anything.
Yeah,
no.
There's thousands of people on it at the same time. Going
Exactly.
slow.
So that's why I'm trying to like feed off the Wi-Fi here at the station, which is already
also not good.
no. So I'm like, come on, movie download real quick.
Oh, what movie are you going to download?
So because
Oh,
you
dear.
know, I'm just not a fun person. I just really I like
No, you are, but
it's just different in ways. So there is this really fascinating documentary on Netflix about 9/11.
yeah.
And it's like a 5 or 6 episode thing, but they take you through the history of how we got to 9/11.
Oh.
Because like if you were to ask someone like, why did Osama bin Laden create that plan? And you're like, because he hated America. Well, why?
Yeah.
This takes you like this whole thing. Like I literally last night was like, what? In 20 years, I had no clue that what culminated in 9/11 2021 or 2001
Yeah.
started in the 70s,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
where America was trying to help Afghanistan
Mm.
fight what was then the Soviet Union, which is now Russia. But I was like, what?
Oh.
It's fascinating what led to it and how all these missteps. And then like in the 90s, we were so consumed with Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, all these other things about the drama with Gore Bush and then the intelligence agencies weren't talking because at that time they were like, well, we're the CIA. We don't need anybody else. The FBI was like, we are FBI. We don't need anybody else. So none of the agencies were talking to each other. And so like there were all these little missteps that were just missteps, which led to 9/11.
Wow.
And so I'm only on episode 2, but it's fascinating. So
It's on Netflix?
yeah, it's on Netflix.
Gosh.
And it's called Turning Point.
Mm.
But I'm on episode 2, but I've been like super fascinated by all the history and there's still more episodes to go. So I'm like, wow, what else are they going to sort of tell us about, that day and what happened? So that's what I've been sort of consumed with over the past couple days. So I'm downloading the rest of that and I'm still in the station's Wi-Fi to download that to watch on the plane.
Whoops.
Because I'm going to Buffalo to visit my fiance, Abe, in
Yeah.
Buffalo.
When's the last time you were in Buffalo to see that side of the family?
It was, I think it was Christmas.
Like a year ago?
Wait, you're right. I went last July.
Oh.
I went last July, but I didn't see anyone really.
Yeah, everybody was being super careful.
Right.
Not that they're not now, but it was like then. It was
even
like
more so.
Right,
Don't
because there were no
come near
vaccines.
me.
Like there was no protection. And so I saw like his friends and we saw his parents, but it was like outside because they live on Lake
20
Erie,
feet apart.
20 feet apart. I mean, like we're still going to be careful because his dad, he's gotten the vaccine, but he had a liver transplant. And so because of his anti-rejection drugs, it basically like booted out the antibodies from COVID. And so he's just like, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
So I'm still like gonna be away because I'm like, I don't want to, get anyone,
Yeah.
Even though I know I'm fine, but still you could be, what's it called? Not
A
dormant,
carrier?
a carrier
Yeah.
or something like that. So I'm just like, but yeah, so it's been a minute since I've been up there. So I'm excited to sort of see everybody. Abe was like, I've been home probably 3 times. And anytime I come home, everyone's like, oh, well, if you want to get together, that's fine. And then apparently when they found out I was coming, they were like, So we're going to have this big dinner outside, and we have to play. And he was like,
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
like, I'm
you must
sorry.
feel very nice.
I do. I was like, oh, this is great. Because that doesn't happen with my family
I
when
was
I
gonna
come
say,
home.
there you
So
go.
I'm like,
No,
listen.
they're like, who?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this one. The old gay one from down south.
You know he's gay. I don't know. That's probably what happened.
jeez.
So before we get into anything else, too, I want both of you to go to the Miguel and Holly Facebook page.
Oh.
Because we didn't get a chance to do this on the air today, because we had a jam-packed show.
It was breakneck speed going
Wow, it was.
through. All right, Miguel and Holly Facebook page.
By the way, I love when like some morning shows say that, like every show. They're like, it's just chock full of stuff every show. And I'm like, is it really?
Oh.
Well, I didn't even see it yet. Oh God.
Oh boy.
Waiting. Here we go.
So
Oh,
let
boy.
me set this up.
Oh my God.
So we've talked about, we're doing Miguel and Holly Live, our live show.
I don't feel bad anymore. I don't feel bad anymore. I don't feel bad anymore.
We're doing the live show, Miguel and Holly Live at the Ritz Ybor, October 21st. It's a Thursday, 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now, $29 for general admission. Get your tickets at hot1015tampabay.com. And one of the things we said this week on our show was that if we sold a certain amount of tickets by Monday, the 13th,
Oh my God.
we would do
Oh my God.
50 Shades of Chicken live. And it's the cookbook that we read on the air on Thursdays. And so Holly, who plays Miss Hen, and it's based off of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, it's like an S&M cookbook.
What
Yes.
the hell is this?
Holly would be Miss Hen and dress up as a sexy chicken on stage. And so I got some options together, and listeners have been voting, but I think this is going to be a Platypus Posse special, deciding on what Scott should wear as chef.
Yeah.
Scott, go ahead and describe the options that are
I don't
posted
even know how to describe this.
on the Miguel and Holly Facebook page.
Oh my
right now.
God. So the first one, it's this guy who has obviously a chef hat on, a little handkerchief, and then an apron that goes right past his wee-wee,
Oh my God. No, it's right above.
right above. So you kind of see the undercarriage. And then there's nothing under
No.
except for like maybe some tighty whities.
He got his tighty whities on. You can see
That's
a little
it.
bit of the bulge.
You just see a little bit of the little peeking out. And that's it. No pants, no nothing. What the hell?
Miguel, your thing is like going.
Oh,
There
is
it
it being
is.
crazy?
Yeah, your
Mhm.
thing is being crazy. Like you freeze sometimes.
That's because I'm on the station Wi-Fi on
Mhm.
my computer. But by the way, we have this
You want me
on
to hold it
the
over here?
Miguel and Holly YouTube. Yeah, and if you just swipe right, it's
The next one is very traditional chef. It has a chef hat, the chef like long sleeve shirt with all the buttons and pants. That's pretty traditional.
Okay, but the only thing about that's sexy is the man in it.
That's true.
Wait a second, I gotta go to that one. Here it is. Like there's nothing. Literally, you could walk into like a Denny's, and the dude on the cook line is wearing this. Like there's nothing.
Yeah,
sexy
just
about
know that
this.
number 2 isn't happening.
Oh,
Like
it's
that
a-
was just
Number 2 is just to make it seem like it's fair.
Well, number 3, what the hell is this? It's a guy
Oh!
with a chef hat, and he has like a little tiny cloth that just covers
It's a loincloth.
his front section. And that's it. No shirt, no pants, and I don't even know if there's a back. I don't know if my booty's going to be out or what.
You might have to borrow one of Abe's jock straps.
Ow!
You can't borrow a jock strap. Wait a minute. Go
You're
back.
right. What are these outfits?
Okay, well listen.
I vote. Can I say which one I
Yes,
want?
Holly, which one?
I want number 1.
Ooh, yeah, I agree.
Because
I think
like it number 3 takes away too much. I mean,
Right.
it leaves too much out. Like leave something to my imagination because that's better for women.
right.
I'm not trying to see Scott's entire ass out.
Oh,
I got a nice ass.
I didn't say that it wasn't. I know it is.
Thank
Bitch, I
you.
walk behind you when you go to the bathroom sometimes.
Thank you.
But I don't want to see it naked on stage.
Yeah, I don't know if I want everyone else seeing it naked on stage either. I don't
like
know, that's gonna
number
go
one.
over.
I think number 1 is where it's at. Obviously, number 2 is not happening.
No, number 2. Well, okay, so what I do, like for Holly's, I Googled like sexy.
Chef outfits.
Sexy chicken.
No, no. Like this is my job. I Googled sexy chicken women's Halloween costumes.
As you do.
As you do.
Duh.
Because like whoever has Googled that in their life. And there were actually a lot of options, which I was shocked by. So when I Googled male chef sexy Halloween costume, basically number 1 and number 3 were the only options. But there were like 2 or 3 more options, but they were really gross because what it was like maybe like just the apron, and then they would be like part of the costume would be like a sausage. Like it would be like them holding
Okay.
like a pizza box with
Okay.
a dick coming out.
It's
And
a
I was
dick
like,
in a
Oh.
box.
yeah, and I was like, too much. That's
That's too like
too much.
Yeah, I can't be showing my
No.
wee wee on stage.
No, well, you're not. No.
There you go. Good.
not
No,
doing
maybe
that.
have Miguel's Big Gay Brunch next year, but
No, we can't do that.
would you, Scott?
No, that's
Come
too
on.
much.
I'd give you a talent fee for it.
That's
No.
you're basically saying I will set up prostitution for you.
No, I'm not saying anyone's gonna
Very-
touch it.
Oh,
It's like you're
come
a
People already
on.
trying to touch me now when I have
It's
clothes
already-
on.
People are drunk. You can't hold back a drunk. Like you gotta take it. No, I will not
gotta
let
protect
you do
my
that.
wee-wee.
No.
We should have saved that just for the podcast. Protect my wee wee.
Hey, you do.
You do.
My
you,
precious gem.
you do. Watch out for that cockadoodle doo.
Wow. So if you could, please go vote on the Miguel and Holly Facebook page.
Vote one. I like one. Vote one.
You can vote for the chef. Holly, what you got going on this weekend?
So it's a kid weekend, and I always feel like I don't have a great I don't have a fun story to go along with the kid weekend. Although I am interested to know, and we haven't decided this yet, if my brother is going to come over to Gigi and Papa's house for a kid weekend. My brother is in town with his fiance, and so we're recording this on a Friday. They have not yet decided when they're leaving. They said maybe Saturday, but they also don't know. So I said, well, here's our Saturday. I have my daughter, my person has his daughter, and we go to his parents' house. And that like we just kind of let them run around. And they're finally at an age where they can play by themselves sometimes. So like literally we'll just sit and like play games on our phone or go in the pool.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to see if my brother and his fiance will come. Just because it's a nice pool. And I'm like, y'all might as well come
have a cool day
and hang out
You're
with
in
us.
Florida.
So I don't know if they're gonna do that or not, but it's been interesting having my brother here. Because I don't see him that often. It's like, did we come from the same parents? It's weird.
Yeah, I haven't heard you talk much about it this week.
I've tried. Actually, I have tried to talk about it at least once a day, but there's just not much to report. Like, he first of all surprised me because he called me like last week Thursday, and he was like, "Hey, I got like 10 days off, and we're gonna come down Tuesday." I was like, "Well, he told me Monday." I'm
Oh.
like, "Oh, I wasn't ready for that, but I mean, do what you want to do."
Right.
And so then it was like a series of craziness, and my mom got so excited. And then they actually ended up coming in on Tuesday, and it's great. Like they're staying downstairs in our spare / little girl bedroom. And my mom wanted to give up her entire bed and apartment for them. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Number one, because I and my person cannot have my mom living downstairs with us.
No.
For like the 4 to 5 days that was no.
Too much.
Sorry. Also, I'm trying to trying to teach an old dog new tricks, but like this is part of her boundaryless, toxicity in parenting where we grew up without boundaries. Like she's codependent. She taught me how to be codependent. He didn't get that because his personality has always been a fighter, and I'm more of a fawner in terms of response. So I just try to make things better for other people by making myself small or making it seem like I have no needs. And that's what my mom does. So it's like generational, but he always fought her. So that's why he never ended up that way. But I'm like, you're giving up your bed and your whole apartment. Why? She's like, this is what you do for your kid. I just want him to know I love him so much. I'm like, no, he knows you love him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't love him more if you give up your bed. Not
Right.
only that, he doesn't think you love him. Like you are then telling yourself, I have no needs. I have no wants or desires. I'm small, and that makes me feel good that I'm sacrificing everything to my son. He don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so toxic. And like, that's how I learned how to not that like long story short, that's how I learned not a thing about myself. I didn't start learning who I was until a few years ago because I thought you just kowtowed to the other person, the person you're in a relationship with, your friends. You just mold and fit your personality to be who other people want you to be.
Yeah.
That's what she still does. So anyway, we went through this whole thing. I convinced her to stay upstairs. My brother and his fiance are in the guest room, and it's been fine. It's been working out fine. And it's just so odd. We are so different. And so we talk a little bit about like the past. Oh, you remember this? He had this story and we were talking about something my mom had made for dinner years ago. She had made some kind of eggplant lasagna. And he's like, you, Holly, told me it was monkey brains and it was terrifying. I was like, I would never.
Oh.
And he's like, yes, you did. You told me it was monkey brains. And I was like, were we joking about that together? Because I was not mean. I was not like a mean, conniving big sister. Like I was to try to look out for you. I'm like, maybe it ended up that way. And for that, I truly apologize. Like I didn't mean to scar you about that. I'm like, that doesn't sound like on brand for me. That I would like try to prank my 8 years younger brother that it was monkey brains.
I mean, I feel like that would be so like that's a harmless joke that you would like make an aside and not think twice about it. Like I've always said, I remember a kindergarten teacher telling me that like on April Fool's Day that there was a banana growing in the back of my ear.
Oh.
And I was devastated. And I literally all day kept swiping the back of my ear thinking bananas were growing back there. But it was like an innocent like banana. Ha!
Like the teacher was probably like, this is the fun over the top thing that no kid would think is real.
Clearly. Bananas.
Meanwhile,
Miguel
swiper no
6
swiping over here.
was like, there's a banana. And I have always thought about that on April Fool's Day. But it
You
like
always check.
right. I'm always like, hold on. Are there any bananas back
Oh my
there?
gosh.
But so-
Maybe that's what it was just like, oh, it looks like monkey. Like maybe I was trying to be like conspirational with him. I was like, it looks like monkey brains. And he was
Right.
like,
Oh,
he's like,
no!
I don't eat eggplant to this day. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So my brother been in town.
That's
That's the
Wow.
end of that story.
So have y'all had any like deep discussions or anything, or is it all just sort of like surface type deals?
Pretty surface. I did tell him about some stuff just with like my work and and he's telling me a little bit about like I guess the wedding process. I did tell him not that long ago, sometime this year, sometime in 2021, I did have a text conversation with him that was like, I just want you to realize our mom is not the same mom. She's not her. Like there are bits there that are the same.
yeah.
But I'm just warning you, and I'm so sorry, and I don't know what to say to make it better because you don't see her that often, and it's not the same. And he's like, no, I can tell. But what's been interesting is that since he's been here in town, my mom has been like lit up like the 4th of July. Like she is excited. She hasn't bitched about anything. Usually when my mom will shuffle down, she could bring up like, oh, I can't find my glasses. And then she'll switch it to, that my former husband was cheating on me and I didn't know for 2 years. And we're just like, I know. And it's always something traumatic. And I've started to think that the only thing that goes on in her mind are her traumas being played in a loop.
Wow.
It's always something. Well, Auntie Pearl. And I'm like it's a lot. It is.
Right.
It's become very, very toxic for me. And it was toxic for me in the first place to have her living with me for this long. And now it's like, it's even worse. But she's had none of those stories. She's only got like fun anecdotes about Patrick or like, she's just in a good mood. She was singing the other day. And I'm just
wow.
like,
Interesting.
like, can y'all come down more often or like take her up with you for some? And this is why I would really like to get her into an assisted living at some point, because I just feel like, yes, I need it for me, but I really believe, and I hope if I find the right place,
Yeah.
Right.
she could move on with her life and
Yes.
start to experience the next chapter, because right now it is not good for her. Like,
Stuck.
she is a mess when she's just with us. And it's nothing that it's nobody's fault.
Well, that's one of the things I've always said. And even when my grandmother was going through this, when my mom was her caretaker, is when you are in that state and your mom is at home all day. And at first she was taking care of Maya. So she had like that energy.
It was like a passion
There
and,
was
and
something to do, right? Someone to talk to, even if it wasn't like full blown on adult conversations, but it was still communication.
and a purpose.
Right.
Yes.
Whereas now, what's her purpose every day?
It's just the same thing
Right.
every day.
And so what else do? Is you just sit around, you watch TV, and you think, and you think, and you think. So that's why I told my mom, I'm like, when you get to that point, I'm not going to have you just sit at the house all day. You're going to go live somewhere where you get to do activities, you get to meet people, you get to
Engage.
talk
yeah.
to people and have conversations, and it keeps that mental stimulation going.
Mm.
So there's actually your mind is working.
Yeah.
It's working. Whereas right now it's just like
Yeah.
sitting. And
Right.
so when your brother comes into town, it's like, ooh, let's make dinner. Let's
New
have conversations, new energy, new people, new things. And that's
and it has been.
exactly-
It's different. Like, we've had dinner at home 2 nights in a row. I made dinner one night. Patrick made dinner one night. We went out tonight. We're going out to dinner. So for her, it's been like the best day, week ever. And so
Yeah.
I almost feel like all the stuff that I'm saying and I'm like struggling with, Patrick's like, I mean, it's not that bad. But
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
not
no.
seeing the reality of it.
You are not here day to day,
Yeah.
in and out, and there's always fucking something. So I told him, I'm like, if she acted like this all the time, it would not be so bad.
Mm,
But she doesn't.
right.
So yeah, I agree with you. And I know what's going to happen because she's actually very difficult to live with. And I now I've always had empathy for my dad, but now I have way more compassion, empathy, and understanding for what has happened for him. And I've always, I want to say hate, but trying to be like not quite as negative. I've always disliked my stepdad, who passed away years ago.
Mm.
Hate was a strong word that I used to use a lot, though. But now, having lived with my mom for 7 years and 4 of those years being brain damaged parts of them, I can see a little bit about what he went through too. She's a difficult person to live with, and she doesn't know it.
Right.
Because there's not a lot of she doesn't, and I'm not sure if she ever will, she doesn't have the ability to self-reflect and see where she may be creating a problem, because her traumas are so ingrained.
Right.
She has no idea that she just keeps on putting that same stuff out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because when you don't process those traumas and you are a hurt, wounded person, that's your outlook on life.
Your personality has become your trauma.
Yes. And you feel like everybody around you is out to get you, and you're in a defensive mode all the time. And that's sort of like how your mom lived for a lot of her life.
Yeah.
And then now with the brain surgery and how it's affected her brain, it's like this constant state of who's out to get me, what's going on.
Or it's not even who's out to get me, but it's a victim mentality. It's always something. Why is this happening to me? And combined with, like I told you earlier, the codependency coping mechanisms of, just a quick example. We knew that I was going to cook meatloaf the other day. So she comes down and my person is sitting on the couch watching something. And she goes, am I allowed to eat dinner with you guys? Come on. It's that kind of like manipulative, without knowing it's manipulative behavior, that it chips away at you. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. Because what she's wanting is to feel like it, and I understand it psychologically. She's like, I'm gonna, make myself not like, because it's okay if you don't. I know I'm not worthy of dinner, but if I can, I would love to. Meanwhile, like any normal fucking person would be like, of course you're gonna have dinner with us.
Right. We want you here.
So then, like, when she says shit like that, and he's like, no, nope, can't. Not
right.
doing it.
No,
And then
not today.
And he's like, of course. And she's like, oh, well, I mean, I didn't know, And then I'm like, why wouldn't we? Like, I get mad about that
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and it's a trigger. So I'm like, why wouldn't we ask you? And she's like, don't get upset. I was just asking. Like, now it's my fault for getting upset that she's being crazy about it. So it's like those those
That
interactions
over and over again.
all the time. So it's been interesting since Patrick was here. So I know, I was gonna wrap it up with this point. When she goes into an assisted living of sorts, it's gonna be rocky because like I said, she's difficult to live with, but it's never her fault. And I'm not saying this as like I know I sound a little bitter, but the problem is she doesn't realize what she's doing that's making a situation awkward.
Yeah, so she can't adjust to it.
She can't
doesn't know.
adjust. So she's just going to do her thing. And eventually she's going to get irritated at the people because what she tries to do is give and give and give. It's giving too much.
Right.
She bought herself some soup the other day. And I'm like, oh man, I haven't had that soup in a while. Where'd you find it? She's like, do you want all of it? No, I don't want any of it. I'm just telling you.
No,
That's
it's for
cool.
you. It's for you.
And then she came down, she
yours.
put the fucking soup in the thing and she's like, just have it. And I'm like,
Oh no, Margaret.
I'm like,
It's yours.
do not do this. I'm like, because I'm not even going to eat it. And
Yeah.
then you're going to get mad that I didn't. Like, do you
Right.
understand that
Yeah.
it's very hard to explain that type of wrongness? So, like, she's not going to get it. And then she's going to get irritated when she keeps giving and giving and doesn't see people like it's the psychology behind it is that you give in order for people to love you.
Right.
You do this thinking that the more you do, the more they'll love you back. When in reality, the more you do like that, the more frustrated and annoyed people get with you.
Right.
So then it's a complete cycle of, I don't understand. I'm going to keep giving more and hating these people for making me feel resentful. And why aren't they loving me? Because they're fucking annoyed with you.
When it's like they just want you to just exist. They just want you to be here and be in this space.
Yeah.
And just be you.
So that's what I know is going to happen at some point when she moves into a place. And then even the people that she likes, she's going to be like, they're just so annoying. And I'm going to be like, I wonder why. Like,
I wonder if there is like a place where they'll have a therapist. If there is
I hope,
where
actually.
that's some place that maybe like once a week she can go to talk out those things. Like when she starts to get frustrated at people around her.
Yeah.
And then they can be like, well, let's walk through.
Let's go through everything. Yeah.
Why you're frustrated.
Man, that would
and then
be
sort
great.
of like, maybe it's like through the repetition of like walking through those scenarios with a third party where maybe then she could kind of be like, huh.
Because she's in therapy now. She goes like once every 3 weeks.
Right.
She does not do it right. And I'm like, you got to tell him about all the things. And then she'll get on the Zoom thing and she'll be like, I don't know. I just doing okay. And I'm like, you're not okay. Like, what are you talking about? So it's hard because you also have to start talking.
Yeah,
when
you
you're
got to
therapy.
dive in if you want to get anything out.
So that's a good point. I would hope that assisted living facilities or independent living facilities, if they don't have a therapist on staff, they should.
Right. I mean, that might be something to look for when
Yeah.
you're looking around. So she has that resource there.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for letting me bitch about some stuff.
Absolutely. Scott, you got anything you want to get off your chest?
No,
Oh,
No?
I mean, not like that. No,
You just
Sorry.
existing.
I know.
I'm just no. What? No, that wasn't bad. That was a good topic to kind of just dive in and actually engage with. Like, I have nothing pressing like that. And I don't know how much time we have either. So I don't want to dive into
Yeah.
something really thick and then
I
be
don't
like,
know.
you know,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got to go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I still got to upload stuff before I go to the
Yeah.
airport.
I'll bring up thick stuff later.
Thick.
I like it when you bring up thick stuff, Scott.
All right. Yeah.
Hey. Why? What's wrong?
Nothing.
Let me celebrate you, Scott.
That's not celebrating.
I am celebrating you.
Let's
You're
get
not.
you to the airport.
Are you going to drive me to the airport?
No, I got to do a show.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
I do.
You want me to drive you to the airport?
No. I'm driving myself because I get
Bad.
back later Sunday evening.
Oh.
And now that we live in Largo, I'm not gonna try to get an Uber. I'm like the cost of what it would take to get from here to there now, and then from the airport to Largo. That's parking this weekend. So I'm just gonna drive my car to the airport.
Okay.
So-
It won't be too bad for 2 nights.
Nah, it'll be fine. So, all right, Scott, what's all your social media?
At Scott Tavlin, SCOTTTAVLIN.
Holly.
Radio Holly on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
And mine is Miguel Fuller, MiguelFuller on all the stuff. And I still have a few more Miguel and Holly stickers that I want to get rid of for you to have because I'm not going to order any for a while. So here on the YouTube channel, you can see the stickers we have. So if you want some, send me an email with your address, Miguel at hot1015tampabay.com. Do not forget to get your tickets Oh God. I hope the weather isn't messed up for me to fly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Emma?
this is fine.
It's
I don't
Tampa.
know.
They're used to it. It's
You can
summertime
fly
here.
in a little drizzle. Come
That
on.
looks like a big old cloud coming.
Oh.
Pray for me. But yeah, if you get some Miguel High Live tickets, please.
Where?
Hot1015 TampaBay.com on the Hot 1015 app, and we will see you next week. Bye.